Welcome to the Money and Mindset, your destination for mastering financial wisdom and cultivating a powerful mindset. Let's unlock new opportunities for growth, success, and a brighter future together.
Welcome to Money and Mindset. We're going to talk about the one thing that really shapes your financial life. And spoiler alert, it has absolutely nothing to do with budgets or spreadsheets. Nope, it's all about the internal story you're telling yourself about money. So let's dive in, unpack what that story is, and figure out how you can rewrite it. Okay, let's just be real for a second. Why is talking about money so weird, right? It's just loaded with all this stuff. Guilt, fear, maybe even this weird sense of pride in just scraping by. It becomes this super awkward topic we'd all just rather avoid. But here's the thing. What if that very avoidance is the exact thing that's holding you back? And that's exactly the vibe we're going for here. This isn't going to be some dry, boring lecture filled with complex jargon. No way. Think of this more like a kick in the butt conversation with a friend. It's about being direct, being honest, and really shaking things up so you can finally get out of your own way. All right, so let's start with the first big idea, unpacking your money baggage. And believe me, we all have it. It's this invisible suitcase of hidden beliefs and old stories about money that we've been dragging around for years. And the crazy part? This stuff is silently sabotaging our financial success, and most of the time, we don't even have a clue it's happening. I mean, think about it. How many times have you heard stuff like, money doesn't grow on trees, or, oh, rich people are just greedy? We hear these things so often, they stop sounding like opinions and start feeling like facts. They get totally ingrained in us. But here's the most powerful first step you can take. Just stop for a second and ask, is this really true? That one little question, that's where you start to take back the power. And this is so important. Because even if you're sitting there thinking, psh, I don't believe that, these old stories are sneaky. They love to operate in the background, They become this quiet default program running your life, influencing everything, how you earn, how you spend, and most importantly, how you limit what you even think is possible for yourself. So once we start to see that old baggage for what it is, we can bring in a completely game-changing idea. And it's this. We're going to shift from seeing money as just some object we have to chase to seeing it as a relationship. Yeah, a partnership that we need to actually actively cultivate. This is what we call the partnership mindset. And it's all about treating money not as something to be chased, but as a relationship to be nurtured. I mean, just think about it in human terms, right? If you constantly resent someone or act like they're out of your league, why on earth would they want to stick around? It's the same with money. The energy you bring to your finances, it absolutely matters. Okay, so how do we actually build this partnership? Well, it's a 4-step progression. First, you've got to stop resenting it. That feeling when a big bill comes in. Then you start respecting it, appreciating the money you do have. From there, you can actively invite it in. And then, and this is the big one, you genuinely expect it to show up. This is how you go from a mindset of there's never enough to one of abundance. Now, I know this might sound a little woo-woo or out there to some of you, but stick with me. This small shift in your mindset, it's what leads to massive changes in your reality. It's what opens your eyes to new opportunities. When you start acting like a worthy partner to money, you literally start to see avenues for growth that were completely invisible to you before. It's wild. Okay, let's get practical. Because a new mindset is amazing, it's powerful, but it's pretty much useless unless it's backed up by new actions. So in this next part, we're going to talk about exactly that, bridging the gap from mindset to action, from what's in your head to what you do in the real world. Because that's the real question, isn't it? What does showing up differently actually look like? It's easy to talk about these big ideas, but what does it mean on a random Tuesday afternoon when you're making decisions? How do you actually do things differently with your money and your career? Well, it looks like taking some bold and sometimes kind of scary actions. It's about finally getting the guts to raise your rates. It's about walking into your boss's office and asking for that promotion you know you deserve. It's about betting on yourself, maybe starting that new project or investing in your own growth. These are the kinds of things that someone who believes they're worthy actually does. And let's be super clear about this. Doing this stuff, it's probably going to feel uncomfortable. Yeah, you're going to feel fear, you're going to feel self-doubt, but that feeling of discomfort, that's not a stop sign. It's not a red flag. Actually, it's a good sign. It's a green light. It means you're growing. It's the feeling of stretching beyond your old limits. That is what growth feels like. Which brings us to our last and, honestly, our most powerful section. So we've unpacked the baggage, right? We've reframed money as a partnership. We've talked about taking bold action. But there is one final piece of the puzzle, the key that unlocks the whole thing. So after everything we've talked about, what's the one thing? The only thing that's really separating you from the money you want? What is the ultimate barrier? It's this: how big you're willing to think and how much you're willing to trust yourself. That's it. The real limit isn't the economy, it's not your job, it's not your past. It's how big you're willing to let yourself dream and how much you're willing to trust that you can actually pull it off. It's all about giving yourself permission to go for it. And that's the bottom line. Money isn't some exclusive club reserved for other people. The price of admission, the only ticket you need to get in, is the deep, genuine belief that you are worthy of it, backed by actions that prove you believe it. And so that's what I want to leave you with. This isn't just a bunch of information. It's an invitation to act. So ask yourself this question. Forget about tomorrow or next week. What's one small thing you can do today to start acting like someone who deserves a healthy, prosperous, and powerful partnership with money? Because that one simple shift, that's the beginning of everything.
If you found this helpful, please give it a like, share it with someone who might benefit, and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome videos. See you next time.